inspiration to do Route 66? Well, I've always had a huge love of motorbikes. I've had a love of adventure, and you see the films out there such as Easy Rider. I still love the Evel Knievel films when I was a kid, and this is something I really, really wanted to do. There's plenty of other films you can get on YouTube on Route 66 as well, and I just thought, if you're into motorbikes, this is just something you've got to do. So I did. Cars is my day-to-day thing, and that's why I sell cars on a day-to-day living for a living. And I love cars to bits. I love the excitement. I love the smell. I love the anticipation someone's getting when they're getting a new car, and the excitement and again, and that's absolutely brilliant. But there is nothing better than jumping on a motorbike. From here, for example, you head over to Brusselli's to Cardigan, you just open up and you got the wind going past you, and it is just awesome. But we stayed in the South Shore. Not the best decision I made. It was quite a rough area, you look at the amount of shootings and things going on there. So, but anyway, we came out of it okay, so that's the main thing. Rented the bikes, went to Lou Mitchell's, which is the famous breakfast bar you go to before you start. Had breakfast there. The waitress had me in a chokehold because I don't drink coffee, and I asked for a cup of tea instead. She goes, "We don't do tea. You're an American now, drink coffee." So she had me in a chokehold. Then anyway, jumped on the bikes, got to the sign, pictures and sign, bye to my sister, and off we went. I had a rucksack, 3 t-shirts, 3 pairs of socks. And I'd lost 1 pair of socks before I left Heathrow. 3 pairs of pants, swimming shorts and wet gear. I wore my motorcycle jeans, I wore my motorcycle boots and my motorcycle jacket there. So to start off in Chicago, you pass the Gemini Giant, which I can't remember, was just Google it. Then you get a Joliet, where they filmed the Blues Brothers, the prison in the Blues Brothers, which was absolutely brilliant. Fantastic ice cream parlor on the way, met some Mexican bikers and things like that. And we just the history of this place, the history of the Route 66. I am Route 66. Everybody who does Route 66 is Route 66. It is a beautiful experience. It is one of those most fantastic. The history along the way, the people you meet. We went into a bar one day at about 10 to 9 in the morning, hoping for breakfast. Then they don't. We make you coffee. So they give us coffee, an orange juice, and I think a soda and things like that. Absolutely brilliant, because it was born. And the pot washer, the guy who was doing it, was a lovely chap. And then he goes, "You can't pay until the waitress arrives in. She's not in until 9:30. He goes, "So okay, no worries at all. We'll hang about and wait to go." She comes in. You go, "Are you guys doing the Route 66? Yeah, no charge." Absolutely brilliant, So the generosity, the kindness. We are preserving Route 66 by doing it. Everybody should do this. Anyway, first night, got down to Pontiac. Pontiac is absolutely brilliant. It's got superb museums. Go into the main Route 66 museum and just be nice to the people. And there was this guy, Len. It's all voluntary stuff, Simon. I know your love of museums. But Len said, "Goes, buy me a coffee, I'll show you around all the museums." So he did. And he went into a bar. It's called the Dead Animal Bar. And it was all these dead taxidermy animals all over the place. It was absolutely nuts. And Pontiac's got all these beautiful murals, and where Waldemar was, the artist, and so there's all these murals in homage to him. His camper van, what he called his land yacht, which he built himself, is there. The archetypal old hippie, and he does these fantastic big maps of Route 66 and all and that was really interesting. They named the Volkswagen bus in the film Cars, that was based on Waldemar, One of those beautiful people that make the world a better place, But anyway, went through there, down to St. Louis, and got stuck in stuck in St. Louis a second night because the weather turned so bad. The weather, we were stuck between a tornado started forming. The hotel manager comes around knocking on the doors. In 20 minutes, guys, we're talking about meeting in the lobby, which is specially protected, and we'll probably have to sleep there for the night because the weather's turning so bad. I said, well, what about the motorbikes? They'll go, because if you've got anything on your bikes, you need to get out now. Go and get them now. So crumbs, that's a big thing, you know what I mean? But 20 minutes later, bright sunshine. That's how unpredictable the weather is. I'm really glad we took wet weather gear, but we were quite savvy with the way we travelled. I didn't have to use it at all. Anyway, so yeah, St. Louis, got into ice hockey in St. Louis because the St. Louis Blues were playing the Boston Bruins in the Stanley Cup. So we followed that, and there was 7 matches. You know, whoever gets to 4 straight wins first wins, and there was 3 matches they won, 3 matches the Boston Bruins won, and so was the 7th one. So we followed that all along the. So I'll always remember that, and I always on Facebook now. So the Blues pop up and tell me what they're doing, and you get a ring, one of these big rings to celebrate the fact that they won the Stanley Cup, first time they've won for like 30 years or something. If you go to America and you do Route 66, you have to immerse yourself in the experience. I talk to people I met on the Route 66 on a daily basis, thanks to the technology which is about today, and that's absolutely great. We met a chap in St. Louis, Rick Summerfield, who called himself Rock and Roll Rick. He'd played with the Kings of Leon, and Jimmy Buffett, who was a big country and western star over in America, and he'd spent his life making money from skateboarding and playing guitar, like, you know. But funnily enough, now he's at a certain age, he's in the motor trade in America. So we had a lot in common, you know, talking to, so that was great. Talked to him quite regularly. He took us over in St. Louis, took us to one of the best places I've ever been in my life for burgers and beer. Fast Eddie's in Bon Air. I really hope someone at Fast Eddie sees this, because we had such a laugh there that afternoon. And Fast Eddie's grandson, I think, gave us a free cap each and stuff like that. And he goes, thanks for coming to visit. Like I said, the generosity of the people was superb, you know. And yeah, you just get into it. And Oklahoma was great, beautiful, these great roaring plains, and you get all the Bible Belt messages, Bible quotations all the time. It's a spiritual experience, you know what I mean? Because these people, we stopped some in Oklahoma for a drink and a coffee one morning, and this old farmer comes in, because you boys are going to be okay tomorrow, because we've got enough corn for your cornflakes gathered this morning. I thought, that's a really nice phrase. And he came and sat with us, chatted to us for 5 minutes. We told him what he was doing, he told him what he'd done. The people are just wanting to talk. Yes, I think there are people out there who can make a living out of Route 66. They are characters, and I'll name a few of them now, okay? Eric in Oklahoma, there's a chap called Harley, and Harley does what he calls the redneck review. So Harley's in his 70s and he's got a beard down here, and he turns up and he's wearing a pair of white dungarees with red stripes all the way down, like Uncle Sam type thing, you know what I mean? And he takes it around his house, and it's all full of curios and memorabilia, and his garden is full of the old tin signs and stuff like that. And you go around his house, he shows you around the house. He takes you into where the shop used to be, and he does all signs, and he picks up guitar and he plays some jazz. He plays Route 66, and he is just a character. Gives you a beer, and do you know what I mean? And I had a photograph, a selfie of me and him give me a kiss on the cheek, like, you know what I mean? Because you are a pretty boy, he goes to me, and he is just a character. And we need more characters. We need that passion. You need the love of history to make life more palatable, isn't it? You know. So Harley was a character, absolutely brilliant. Then you go further on and you come to Gay Perdita, and there was a guy called Gary running an old filling station, and very similar, lots of yard art and things like that. Once again, they were giving away free drinks. You could have asking, you know, you can tip if you want to, but essentially you could have a free ginger beer or a free Dr. Pepper or something like that. I thought that is just absolutely brilliant. Now Gary died a few years back, and George's son-in-law has taken it over, and he's a character. He really is a character. He was brilliant. And then there's a chap then a bit further on called by Joplin called Lovell Davis. Lovell Davis has built his own little village. So it's a perfect little village that he's built, and it's all artists and things living, and that is absolutely superb. The difficulty is he wasn't there when we were there, so I failed to meet Lovell Davis, which is a source of disappointment for me. But like I said, we met Harley, we met George. Further on then in Seligman in Arizona, we met Angel. I can't pronounce Angel's surname because I'll get it wrong, but it's Delgadillo or something like that. And Angel's now in his 90s, and he had a barber shop on the 66, and he realised that the town was going to die when the bypass. You know, the 66 is a quiet road now. Some days we'd be the only traffic we'd see it. Me and my mates would be the only people we'd see in it, and it was great fun. I'm not complaining about that at all. But you think the people trying to eke a living out of it is such a shame. But Angel, Harley, George, if George was selling t-shirts and things like that, so I mean, you know, he had ways of coming in. Everyone, although they take a free drink and they're very grateful for a free drink, they'll always give a couple of dollars in, which is far more worth than the dollar. But Angel has kept his barber chair, and you can have a photograph taken in his barber chair, and he was probably one of the first to realise, hang on, I can sell Route 66 memorabilia. So he's got a brilliant shop selling all these things, you know, the usual things like coasters, shot glasses, shirts, t-shirts, bandanas, all that kind of stuff. And it was great, and he's such a gentleman. He really was such a gentleman. There's a film coming out with Harley, Lovell Davis and Angel coming out called Almost Ghosts, and currently they're showing it in America. Some Spanish guys have done it. They're showing it in America and in Spain. I've been in touch with them, but there's no plans to they want to show it in the UK, but it remains to be seen. But I'm looking forward to seeing if that comes out in the UK, because that'll be interesting, because that will give you more depth into what I'm saying. I mean, I'm only giving you a fleeting experience of what is definitely the most fun I've had in my adult life. Music is just so important. You know, you're in Chicago, we went to a blues club, buddy guys, a blues club in Chicago. So you're in Chicago, you're hitting blues, yeah? And then you're coming down through the Ozarks, and you get the Ozark country music that's going through your head, and then you're hitting St. Louis. And then you start thinking of country music, and you start thinking of Chuck Berry in St. Louis, for example. We went to Chuck Berry's restaurant, what an experience that was, and pictures of his statue with us. Then of course you hit the music, and these beautiful songs by people like Tom Petty and Bruce Springsteen, travelling across the deserts, you know. It's in your head, and it's just unfolding in front of you. And then of course you get to Arizona, and you hit Wilmslow, Arizona, and the great line from Take It Easy by the Eagles, I'm standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, on such a fine sight to see. It's a flatbed Ford. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford slowing down to take a look at me. Well, the local authority in Winslow have taken a flatbed Ford, and it's parked on the corner in Winslow, Arizona, all the time. with a song playing from it. Statue of Don Henley and a statue of Glenn Fry, and it's on a crossroads, and it is an attraction on the 66, and it is called Standing on the Corner in Winslow, Arizona. And it's massive, but you see you see the shields for Route 66, massive, covering the entire square. You know, absolutely brilliant. Really was awesome. And of course, then you get the natural phenomenon that you get the Grand Canyon just off the 66. You get the meteor crater just outside Winslow. I was thinking, of course, back a little bit then, the artworks, the Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo, absolutely superb. And you get to Arizona, met an old biker in Flagstaff in Arizona, Breeze Klotsky. I've become really fond of Breeze, and so yeah, and he goes, we had breakfast with him he just met us in McDonald's. We had breakfast, and he came and sat with us. I really warmed to the bloke straight away, and he goes, when you hit Santa Monica, you got to message me. So we were I FaceTimed everybody. I was just walking around showing everyone the pier in Santa Monica. When he got there, we came down to the Los Angeles mountains into Los Angeles. We met Native American Jay Silver something, or Chief Silver Fox or something like that his name was, can't remember. And he told us some really interesting story then about Welsh-speaking Native Americans after Prince Madoc went there. But I think he went there about 300 years before Columbus actually got there, and he married and settled down there. And there's talk of Indian settlements which look more like Welsh villages than Indian settlements, and even to this day they speak a language which is very similar to Welsh, and there's a dialect there. I thought that is hugely interesting, because I knew of one valley where it was happening, but he goes, oh no, there's about 4 or 5 settlements. He goes, it's about 4 or 5 valleys where the language spoken was Welsh, and not there was none of a dialect like Welsh, that they were speaking Welsh, because the Welsh were here before Christopher Columbus were. Wow, do you know what I mean? As a Welshman going across the 66, this was absolutely fantastic. I wasn't really looking for Welsh connections on the journey, but they just make themselves available, don't they? It's amazing. You go into anywhere and you're willing to talk to someone with a smile on your face. What you can achieve. We were in Roswell. This has nothing to do with Wales, by the way, but I was in Roswell because my mate Rob always thinks he's a big UFO fan, so we went to Roswell. So we went to Roswell, and we in a restaurant in McDonald's in Roswell, and I was getting a drink, and I was getting a Dr. Pepper, because it was so hot, something to cool you down straight away, a bit of sugar to get your juices going again. And this lady comes up to me, she goes, you must be from Texas. And I said, no, I'm not from Texas, I'm a long way from Texas. She goes, no, you're from the UK. I said, I'm from Wales in the UK. She goes, what are you doing in Roswell? I said, well, we're doing the Route 66, we just come off here. She goes, stay here. So you're not going there yet, are you? And she goes, no, I'll be here for the next 10 minutes. And she goes out to a car and she comes back. And she's got a challenge coin, okay? I should have brought it with me to show you today, Simon, but beautiful piece of memorabilia. Challenge coin, about that big, with a police shield on one side and a slogan on the other from the Roswell Police Department. She designed it. Her husband had been a policeman, so she'd had a few of them now, and she gave me one of her husband's things like that, because this is to keep you safe in your journey. And I thought that was just such a sweet, nice thing to be doing. And like I said, everybody was just so nice. Some people had some really difficult to comprehend views on things going on up there, but they were still lovely people, even if they were a bit misguided in their beliefs. Oatman, they call it the ghost town which doesn't die, And I thought, you know, you ride in on your bikes, you're parking, and it's just burros, donkeys just walking up and down the street, you know what I mean? And you go into this hotel, this guy introduces himself as John Wayne's nephew, and he's sitting there with a proper gun and his thing, just sat in the saloon, having a drink, stopped there, have some dinner, and it was awesome. He said, oh, can we stay here? So although this place was a great place to visit, no motel, nothing, you can't stay there, so you've got to keep on going a bit further, you know? So yeah, no, it was just absolutely brilliant. You do meet some absolute characters. If I just stop in one place, or one place only, on the 66, that's a really hard question, okay? That's a really hard question, Si, because I love Pontiac. Pontiac was brilliant. I loved these huge murals. There's about 40 of them all around town, covering the side of buildings, and superb artists have done these things. There's one of the piece of art, for example, a bloke had done when he was halfway through, his dog died. So they had the dog cremated. They mixed the dog into the paint. So every time he sees the mural, you can see his dog. And Len, who took us round to Pontiac, was amazed that I knew this story. So if there was a place, that was the place. A person, it would be Harley in Eric, Oklahoma, who is the sweetest, kindest person I think I've met in a long time. And he used to do it all. He used to do these redneck reviews, he calls them, with his wife Annabelle, who sadly passed away. And he's doing it all by himself. And you know, if you go to his Facebook page now, it's still Harley Annabelle. It's not Harley, it's Harley Annabelle. So I mean, the love he had for his wife is great, and the love for the visitors and the show he puts on for us, which he doesn't charge for. He just is one of the sweetest, nicest people going. As you get older, I mean, your eyes get jaded. I mean, this world beats you down, doesn't it? Sometimes you need to grab the world by the scruff of its neck and just go on the adventure. And if the world takes you on that adventure, you just hold on as tight as you can. It's brilliant. And holding on to handlebars when you're crossing the desert on a motorbike is the best feeling in the world. It really is. In my opinion, and it's be different for everybody, Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo, you know what I mean? For someone to have that foresight to build those cars at an angle, in the middle of nowhere, as an art concept, it's just brilliant. So I'm there in Cadillac Ranch, right? And it's got this much water because it's been chucking it down rainfully. And the big thing is you want to go there and spray your name on the thing, and you know, Bruce Springsteen's song Cadillac Ranch is, because that's what it's called, the Cadillac Ranch, was just singing in my head, and I thought, this is it. This is me. This is me on Route 66. Absolutely brilliant, you know what I mean? I had really nice motorbike boots which I already take a hammer in. This thick of mud because I'd walked in the mud in there. The guys who were with me didn't want to walk up, but for me, that was it. That was 66.